Welcome to the remote field office for the Hanging with Rookie Empire.
We are iced in here at Ed's Mom and Dad's in southern Missouri. I'm telling you, there's a lot of ice out there, right?
Right. We were on a road trip, and
We are on a road trip.
Yeah, we are on a road trip still. But luckily, we're iced in. Well, luckily, we had my mom and dad's house here to
Right.
run
We're
to.
driveway surfing.
So we got the camper, the runaway, out in the driveway,
Right.
and we're gonna
Staying in
stay
it.
out there.
Yep.
And it's covered in ice right now. So, but anyway, I think we're just gonna make the best of it. We're having a good time.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Mom's got plenty of food, so we're not going to starve. We're good. We're good
good.
to go. Yeah.
So on last week's video,
Back to Bethlehem,
back to
B2B.
our church
So
puts
much
this
fun.
on every year, and we had almost.
Well, this was the fourth year.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had almost 4,000 people show
Yeah.
up to it this year, so it's a lot of fun. Most of our friends are involved in it. It takes about 300 or so people to put that on every
Right.
year, and
Saturday seems to be our biggest night.
right.
Well, that's because in town is the Christmas parade, and so it seems to be that after the parade, everybody comes back to Bethlehem.
Yeah.
I worked popcorn and hot chocolate, could not keep up.
And I worked in the parking lot. So coming up in this Sunday's video, you're going to catch a little bit of our road trip because we're in Casey, Illinois,
Right.
home of the world's largest
Don't tell them.
everything.
But you're going to know that we were shocked because just by chance we had the camera up on the dash.
Right.
Because we knew
so,
we were coming into a town.
We did no research on this. You're going to see it just as we seen it. We rolled into town and seen this. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. I'm not going to say anything more about it.
Right.
Just
Well, we are going to go back this summer because we've been told that it's even
nicer. Yeah.
yes in the
'cause
summertime.
We were battling
Yeah.
the weather a little bit.
Yeah.
So
It was
one of the
cold.
things that we're going to do right now, since we're at my mom's house, is we're going to
Go into the studio.
Right, many of you have seen some of her artwork and have commented on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at her
This
artwork.
little jewel is coming home with me, and this will hang in the living room behind the couch. I'm so excited. It's just my favorite. Anyway, well, one of my favorites.
Okay, let's go in and meet my mom. Okay, here we are, my world famous mother in the world famous Judy's Fiber Art Studio. So,
And she has her apron on that she wears when she teaches. She's also a teacher. You forgot about that.
I did.
Yeah.
But the first thing first,
Right.
Mom, tell everybody what a great, awesome kid I am.
Oh, brother.
He's the best son I ever had.
The only
I'm the
son.
only one.
Yes.
And, So-
and his son is the greatest grandson I ever had.
The only grandson.
So we're here in my mom's art studio, and so she's a pretty accomplished artist in oils and watercolors, pencils, fiber
chalks.
arts. Many of you have seen her artwork in
our
our
house.
midweek updates in our
Yeah.
house, and a lot of people have commented and asked where it came from. So since we're iced in here at her house, I thought I'd show you what you got. So, okay, in our family, we like to tease my mom a little bit because we say she's a mess because her father was a musician and her mom was an artist too. So
Yeah.
this is art isn't first generation in our family. It's been there for quite some time.
Right. When I was in school as a child, also, I had some talent that my teachers recognized. But I watched my mom. I had children, so I couldn't do all the things I wanted to do.
I was busy. I kept her busy.
Yes, he did. I won't describe that. And then what I did was about 27 years old, I started seriously thinking I wanted to do more with art. But I had 3 children, and so things were rough. So my mother and father helped me out and got me some art lessons with some very, very exceptional teachers. And so that's how I got started taking lessons and learning myself to be an artist. But my mother was a big influence on me. Okay, in order to recycle paint, because it is so expensive, I try to do something like this. I use one of my canvas boards. I use it as a palette. When I put my paint out, it's on here. I take a brush and I start thinking about how, when I want to clean my brush, what kind of patterns could I be using. Sometimes I come out with better patterns than other. This one, you can see I started thinking about a vase with flowers. And so the extra paint that I cleaned off works as a background for this, and then I just doctor it up.
So she repurposes her boards that she
Yes.
cleans her brushes on and actually makes paintings out of them.
It is economical. And then this is one of those pieces that I was doing that way. And then at the end, I took a knife, a painting knife, and I took some heavy paint like Bob Ross, and I turned it into this, which I think turned out real well.
And that's going to go home with me.
As do a lot of things around here.
We're running out of wall space in our house.
Yes, yes.
Never.
Another type of art that Mom does is fiber art. I don't know much about art, but my mom knows everything about art. So I'll let her explain it to you.
Well, a long time ago, probably in the 70s, I started noticing what they called art quilts. And I realized that being an artist is all you really need to know. And then you had to go to a quilters guild and get them to show you how to manipulate the fabric. For a year, I went to a quilters guild and I asked them to help me learn how to make a quilt. Only, I didn't tell them this, but only because I wanted to do art quilts. So here is the thing I do, mixed media. This is what I would call a mixed media art quilt. It's made out of a lot of different fibers like wool and some hand embroidery, and then I have yarns in here. And this is actually a piece of a silk panel curtain that I used as a background. Now on the back, you'll see that I have to keep labels on everything because when I enter these into quilt shows, we have to have all of our information on the back. Also, my fiber art is done with a sewing machine. I have just a regular sewing machine, no fancy sewing machines. So I had to learn how to do this kind of quilting on top of it to hold it all together. I have my fiber art is all at the Polish pottery shop here in town. She called me up. She saw me at a quilt show. Will you please come and hang your fiber art in my Polish pottery shop because I think it would go well. So she sells all my fiber art, and I'm very thankful for that.
I think it's really interesting as you see is each one of these little pieces here is a piece of fabric that Mom has sewed together. From a distance, it looks like just a painting or another piece of art, but those are just individual pieces of fabric sewn together.
And I also just cut these out with scissors by hand. And I just take a bunch of pieces, throw everything on here like I would do paint, and then when you sew all these circles around it, it holds it all together.
As you can see, there's no boredom in the Ferguson household here. My mom stays very busy with her artwork.
Also, if you'll notice behind me, this is essential that you have to have organization. So I labeled every piece of fiber that I have, what it is, what is in this box, and it's clear. And you'll see there is so much here that I have to keep organized in order to find what I need, or I'm here all day looking for things.
I hope you enjoyed taking a look at my mom's studio today, and we could spend hours out here, but just wanted to give you a little sample of her. It's not really her hobby, it's her job, or it's her hobby, it's her life. It's kind of all intertwined together. I hope everybody really enjoyed it. So if you want to take a look at some of my mom's artwork, you can go to Judy's Fiber Art at blogspot.com, and you can see everything that she's got going on. There is quite extensive tutorials and all kinds of things. If you're interested in it, you could drop her a line over there at Judy's Fiber Art at blogspot. So anyway, I'll put a link to that in the description below.
I also have a Facebook page called Mixed Media Art.
So my mom's well connected on social media.
Yes.
Check it out and drop her a line. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed meeting my mom and enjoyed looking at her artwork. Check it out if you get a chance. Looks like the ice and snow are starting to melt and we're going to get back on the road. Appreciate everyone that's left a comment or an email. You can always email us at hanginwithherky@gmail.com, and we'd be happy to answer any of those questions that you have for us. But right now, it's time to take Herky outside for a walk. Bye. See you next week.